In this video, I'm comparing two excellent sounding IEMs. The first one is the DUNU SA6. This one has 6 PA drivers priced at $550 and has been in the market for a bit longer than the Holocene. Holocene is around 5-6 months old, while this one is a bit more older. Nevertheless, this was the benchmark when it came out. There wasn't anything that was competing with the DUNU SA6. It was simply the best IEM, but there are a lot of competition now. This one charges a bit more, $100 more. At $650, this one has half the drivers, but in my opinion, this too is an excellent sounding IEM which can replace the DUNU SA6 without much problem. There isn't a single problem that I feel with this IEM, and that is not a thing that I can say about the DUNU SA6. DUNU SA6, what it has is a very good cable. The cable of this IEM is one of the best, irrespective of the prices. There aren't many brands who are shipping with a better cable than DUNU, and this IEM is a bit more comfortable, a bit more stable inside the ear. Let me show you. Let me give you a size comparison. But then again, the problem here is that even though DUNU SA6 is more comfortable inside the ear, it is not the most stable IEM. One might need to adjust it a bit since the nozzle is not deep enough. Let me show you the difference in nozzle size here. uh, you guys can see the struggle with the cable, so that is a thing here. Let me put that down. You guys can see the nozzle of the DUNU isn't exactly deep, while the Holocene is deeper. This remains a bit more stable, but then this one isn't exactly ergonomically shaped, while this one is more ergonomical. SS6 is more ergonomical. This one is a bit more comfortable, but you do not struggle with the Holocene either. When it comes to the Andromeda isn't exactly comfortable. Why? Because of the shorter nozzle. This is more comfortable because of the longer nozzle. I really appreciate that change, but I do not think Campfire is changing, is doing away with this design at all. uh, we might see future IEMs with this kind of design, but I do not think anyone buys a IEM for its cable or design, but the sound quality, if it's not very uncomfortable, we are more concentrated about the sound quality. And when it comes to sound quality, I was kind of shocked to find out that DUNU SA6 is not exactly doing great when it comes to the lower end. The only weaker point with the DUNU SA6 I found out to be the sub bass region. It isn't exactly great. The sub bass extension is reasonable. It's not very rumbly or anything like that. The mid bass is a bit more fuller. Uh, yes, the meatier one. While the Holocene isn't exactly meaty in the mid range, but the sub bass of this 3 BA driver IEM is better than this 6 BA driver IEM. That is kind of shocking, but nevertheless, this one is more capable when it comes to sub bass, but the mid bass isn't exactly great. But when it comes to texture and details, both are very good, both are similar. This one has a bit more weight to the notes thanks to the mid bass and a slightly slower decay speed. Even in the one position, it's on on position, which brings a bit more bass to the low, fuller bass, fuller lower end to the low end notes. That's kind of tongue twister. Nevertheless, this is the less capable IM when it comes to the low end, while this one is a bit more capable. Yes, there isn't anything different, but if you want better sub bass, if you want better sub bass, this is the IM to get. If you are okay with fuller mid bass, this is better. But when it comes to the rest of the spectrum, there isn't anything to compare here. This one is good. DUNU SA6 is good. I won't say the DUNU SA6 is bad, but the problem with the DUNU SA6 is that it's less refined. It isn't exactly maturely tuned. The notes have a bit of edginess to them, which is not exactly apparent when you are listening to it in solidarity. But when you compare it with something more capable like the Holocene or Shozi Elsa, the flaws of the DUNU SA6 get more clearer, more apparent. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. At $550, there isn't anything that is beating the SS6. But if you spend a bit more, $100 more, you are getting a more mature, more cleaner, more spacious, more evolved sounding IEM in the Holocene. This one has better transparency. No, I do not think that anyone is buying the DUNU SA6 for its fun feeling. It isn't exactly a fun sounding IEM. It's a BA based IEM and is a precision and accuracy based IEM. Same goes for the Holocene. While the Holocene is lacking when it comes to the number of drivers, it really makes up with the sound quality. It just simply is a more evolved IEM in the same line, same accuracy, same precision. And when I A/B these two IEMs, I have found out that the tonality and timbre of the SA6 was off, was not exactly natural, while the Holocene is more natural. The timbre, the tonality, the ring to the notes in the mid range, in the upper mid, in the lower treble range is better on the Holocene. Holocene is excellent. Holocene has better maturity and has better contrast too. The contrast between background and foreground notes are fantastic with the Holocene, and that is seriously admirable when compared to the SA6. I can even go on to say that this one does better than the Andromeda V3 is nowhere close to this IEM. This is simply a precision and accuracy based IEM. It does not heed to anything else. The musicality, sonicality, everything is intact. That sonical feeling is something really rare in this price range. Even the SA6 is unable to emulate that. We are rare with BA based IEMs, which the Holocene is able to produce. It just simply is a more complete sounding IM, doesn't lack with extension or anything, and the stage size is bigger than the DUNU SA6 too. So what else? Nothing else. I think I've touched every point in there. There isn't both these IEMs are fantastic when it comes to the amount of details, but the transparency level, the clarity, the layering and separation is slightly more evolved, slightly better than the SA6. Holocene is a bit more complete, a bit more satisfying IEM of this two. If you want mid bass, go for this. This is good, a bit more fuller, slightly slower decay speed. It feels good. But if you want that clarity and details, Holocene is the IEM to get. I can easily recommend anyone the Holocene. Anyone who is looking for details, accuracy and precision, the Holocene is really fantastic. It really is one of the best IEM under $1,000. Power it properly. Use some good stuff like this, the Shanling UA5, and you will enjoy both the IEMs. Use good sources and you will enjoy your IEMs and headphones without any problem. So this is it. This is the comparison of these two IEMs, DUNU SA6 and Campfire Holocene. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy.